devastating fire has ripped through an apartment block in New York City, and at least 19 people are dead. That number includes 9 children. Dozens more are injured.
Well, Winter Thomas lived on the 9th floor, and she managed to escape the blaze with her mother and her siblings. And she's very bravely, actually, after the experience she's been through. She's joining us live from New York now. Winter, thank you so much for sparing the time to talk to us here in the UK. What was the first moment that you realised that something terrible had started to happen?
I was actually sleeping, and my little sister came in the room, and she was screaming for me to help her, and I didn't know what to do, so I jumped up out, and I looked at the window, and as soon as I turned my head to the window, it was flames up my window, like coming up my window, black smoke. So the first thing I insisted on doing was making sure my mom and my siblings was okay. I run upstairs because these apartments are duplex buildings.
Yeah, they're 2-story apartments.
So I run upstairs, and I was just trying to make sure.
Carry on. Do carry on.
Yeah, I was just run upstairs, trying to make sure that everybody good and stuff. It was very, very devastating, very devastating.
You were saying to our reporter there earlier that you actually, as you looked out of the window, and then later, after you got out, you were witnessing people jumping from the windows.
Yes, I seen kids, very young kids, jumping out the window, people screaming, help, help me, please, I'm burning, I'm burning. It was just something like you don't see in real life. It was something out the movie. Like, y'all have the Grenfell, and out here, this is our Grenfell.
Yes, right. Can I ask you, how high up were these people jumping from?
From the 9th floor up, people was jumping out the window.
Well, presumably then they wouldn't stand a chance, would they?
Wouldn't stand a chance. So you already know, everybody already understood that people who jumped were not gonna make it. Even my little cousins who live on the 3rd floor, where the fire started, my cousins had to jump out the window to get to safety.
Winter, are your cousins okay?
Huh?
How are your cousins?
They're all right. It's just that everybody right now is very hurt and astonished, especially after seeing all those dead people, kids, people in front of the building passed out. It was just a lot at one moment.
What was the worst part of it in terms of the fire? Was it the flames and the heat, or was it this penetrating smoke that just flooded the building? What was the worst part of it?
It was the worst part for me and my family was the smoke. It was the smoke because you wasn't able to get out the building. That's why we had people jumping out the window, because it was so much smoke that filled the hallways, the staircase, elevators were shut down. It was very crazy.
Winter, given that so many people have died, how do you think it was that you and your family managed to get out? What did you do that saved you?
Well, I have younger siblings. I'm the oldest one in my house, so I had to really stay calm so my other siblings won't overreact or like start to panic, and then after they start panicking, then I know I'm gonna panic. So I didn't want to panic and get everybody so worried. So I just made sure my siblings was okay. But as I started coming down out the building, I started noticing like somebody I grew up with was like just dead on the sidewalk, and it was really crazy. I never seen so many dead bodies in my life, and I've been living for 20 years, never seen that many dead bodies.
It makes us wonder, listening to your awful story, it makes us wonder that if your sibling hadn't come and woken you up when they did, and maybe you'd slept on for another 5 or 6 minutes, you wouldn't have made it, would you?
And yes, and my mom was telling me that she didn't even know I was in the apartment at the moment. So if my sister didn't come downstairs to get her shoes to leave the apartment, I would have been in the apartment sleeping, not knowing what's going on.
Wow, that's a really chilling thought, Winter. I'm so glad you got out. Just describe that moment. Who did you get out? How did you manage to get everyone together? What was your escape route?
only thing that was in my mind was, since I seen kids jumping out the window, I said, get the kids out first. I wasn't really worried about me. I was more worried about the kids. Just get the kids out the building, and then I will make sure I get out the building. But the kids, they can't fend for themselves.
Well, listen, Winter, you've survived this, and it sounds from what you're saying to a large part because you kept your head, because you kept calm in a crisis. I mean, this incredible testing moment arrived in your life, and you met it. You met it by staying calm, and you saved yourself and you saved your family. But now you've got to live with the rest of your life. How do you think you're going to be? How do you think you're going to manage after this trauma?
After this trauma, I don't know how I'm gonna manage, because I went through something like this when I was younger in my other residence where I used to live, and that's why we moved here. So I'm not really good with fires. I don't like fires. I don't like too many officers. So I'm not really used to it. So now it's just gonna be different. And then also, I'm used to seeing my friends when I come outside. The people that I'm usually able to see won't be there no more, and that's gonna hit different too. Just not being able to see my mom's friends died. People I was in classes with died. It's just very sad.
Winter, I think you're extraordinarily articulate and clear in your account here, given what you've just been through, and obviously you haven't had a wink of sleep. Have you and your family got somewhere to go? Have you got somewhere to live?
Well, mostly, like I said again, I was more worried about my siblings, and the Red Cross are doing everything they can do to get everybody shelter. They brought us food, blankets. I'm warm right now because of the Red Cross.
Okay,
well,
Winter,
good
well,
for
bless
them,
you.
and thank goodness.
And God bless you and your family, and take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Winter.